Your legs shake as you stand in formation at dawn. The drill instructor's boots stop directly in front of you. He leans close and asks if you're ready to quit. You can't answer because your throat has completely closed up. You arrived at boot camp 3 weeks ago thinking you were ready for anything ahead.
The bus dropped you off in darkness, and the screaming started before you stepped down.
Your civilian clothes went into a bag, and you never saw them again after that. They shaved your head in under 2 minutes, while others waited in a long line. The drill instructor told you his name once, and you forgot it within 5 seconds. You learned quickly that nothing you did before this moment mattered at all here. The first night you slept 2 hours on a thin mattress in a freezing bay. 40 other recruits breathed and shifted around you in the pitch-black room all night.
The wake-up call came at 4 in the morning with trash cans crashing on floors.
You dressed in 30 seconds and ran outside into formation under the cold, dark sky. Physical training started immediately with push-ups in the wet grass until your arms failed completely. The drill instructor screamed that you were the weakest recruit he had ever seen before. You wanted to defend yourself, but you learned silence was the only acceptable response here. Breakfast lasted 7 minutes, and you choked down food you couldn't taste at all. Every day since then has been the same endless cycle of pain and exhaustion repeating. The obstacle course becomes your personal nightmare every single morning before the sun rises. You fall from the rope climb 3 times while the instructor watches without any expression. Your hands bleed through the gloves, but you grip the rope and try again anyway. The other recruits finish ahead of you and stand waiting in perfect formation, watching silently. You finally reach the top, and your arms shake so badly you nearly lose grip. The instructor tells you to go again, and your heart sinks completely in your chest. You run to the start line, and your legs feel like they're made of concrete. The second attempt goes worse, and you don't even make it halfway up this time. The instructor pulls you aside and asks if you're giving your absolute best effort today. You say yes, but your voice cracks and you sound like a child making excuses poorly. He tells you that your best isn't good enough for this unit or this mission. You stand at attention while he lists every single mistake you've made this week alone. The other recruits march away and you're left alone doing push-ups in the mud. You count each one aloud, but your voice disappears after 70, and you keep going. Your face presses into the dirt, and you taste earth mixed with your own sweat. The instructor's boots remain planted next to your head for the entire 20 minutes there. When he finally tells you to recover, you can't stand up on your own. Another recruit helps you to your feet, and you feel shame burn through your entire body. You make it through the day, but every muscle screams when you move at all. That night you lie awake and think about home for the first time in weeks. You remember your bed and your family and everything that felt safe before this place. The recruit next to you is crying quietly and you pretend not to hear it. You want to cry too, but you're afraid that starting means you'll never stop again. The next morning comes faster than any night you've ever experienced in your entire life. Formation happens in darkness, and your body refuses to cooperate with simple commands this time. The instructor notices immediately and calls you out in front of the entire assembled company now. He asks if you slept well, and you know any answer will be wrong here. You say nothing, and he steps closer until his face is inches from yours completely. He tells you that weakness is contagious, and you're infecting everyone around you with doubt. The words hit harder than any physical punishment you've received so far in this place. You realize other recruits are depending on you, and you're letting them all down badly. The training intensifies, and you fall further behind with each passing hour of every day. Your bunkmate tells you quietly that 3 people have already quit this week from exhaustion.
We have to be careful.
You wonder if you'll be next, and the thought feels like relief and failure simultaneously. The The instructor announces a ruck march tomorrow covering 12 miles with full combat gear loaded. You've never completed one successfully, and your feet are already covered in bleeding blisters everywhere. That night, you sit on your bunk and seriously consider walking to the instructor's office. The morning alarm shatters your 2 hours of sleep, and you can't make yourself move. Your body feels like concrete, and every joint locks up when you try to stand. The other recruits dress quickly around you, but you're still sitting on your bunk, frozen. Your bunkmate shakes your shoulder hard and tells you to move right now, or else.
Hey, wait.
You finally stand, but your vision goes dark, and you grab the bed frame for balance. The drill instructor's voice echoes in the hallway, and your stomach twists into a knot. You stumble into formation late, and he's already standing there, waiting for you specifically. He asks if you think the enemy will wait for you to feel ready someday. You try to answer, but no sound comes out of your dry, cracked throat at all. He tells you to drop, and you collapse into push-up position in the freezing mud. The ruck march begins, and the pack feels like it weighs twice what it did before. Your feet scream with every step, and fresh blood soaks through both of your socks. The recruit behind you asks if you're okay, but you can't waste breath on words.
Just keep moving.
3 miles in and you're dead last, with the instructor walking beside you in silence. He doesn't yell anymore, and somehow that quiet disappointment feels so much worse than screaming.
Pick up the pace, recruit.
Your vision tunnels, and you focus only on the boots ahead, moving one step forward. The pack digs into your shoulders, but you refuse to let yourself stop moving now. You focus on breathing in rhythm with your steps, and nothing else in the world. Mile 6 arrives, and your legs feel like they belong to someone else entirely now. The instructor asks if you want to quit, and you shake your head without speaking. He tells you that quitting is easier than what comes next for you here today. You keep walking, and the pain becomes something you exist alongside rather than fight against. Mile 8 passes, and you realize you're still moving forward, despite everything screaming to stop. The other recruits are far ahead, but you can still see their silhouettes on the horizon. Your bunkmate drops back and matches your pace without saying a single word to you. He doesn't offer help or encouragement, but his presence keeps you moving forward through the pain. Mile 10 arrives, and the finish line becomes something you can actually believe in reaching. The instructor tells you that your body quit miles ago, but your mind hasn't stopped. You cross the 12-mile marker, and your legs finally give out completely beneath you. 2 recruits catch you before you hit the ground, and they hold you upright carefully. The instructor nods once and tells you that today, you became something different than before. You realize quitting would have been easier, but this pain means you're still becoming a soldier. That night, you sleep harder than you ever have in your entire life before now. Your body still hurts, but the shame that followed you everywhere is finally gone completely. You understand now that everyone in this place wanted to quit at some point yesterday. The difference between soldiers and everyone else is simply refusing to stop moving forward, despite everything.